No, press the right button. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Welcome back to Three Chord Dave Live. We didn't, of course, do one last week because poor Three Chord Dave was not well. So, just wussed out and didn't do a show. But thank you so much for joining me for this, the 133rd episode of this live stuff that we do. Yeah, lots of guitar stuff to talk about. I even made a video this week. How impressive was that? And we'll see, we'll see how we get on throughout the live stream. 90 minutes of talking about guitars and things. The beverage I'm starting tonight's show with is Staropramen. Staropramen? I don't know. I had some in the last live stream that we did and it was really nice, but I wasn't feeling great. And I'd have no idea what reaction my body's going to have to this tonight. So if I disappear for a minute, I'll come back. But just know this is a test situation going on. But wherever you are in the world right now is 10 p.m. Irish time. That means on a Saturday night that we can all say, "Slot you, my friend." That's a really nice beer, actually. I've never had it before. It's made in Prague, which is great. I like the Pragues. They're cool. Anyways, let's go in and talk about guitars and stuff. I hope you've been keeping up on the news because if you have been, lots of stuff has been happening. I got a question for you. I'm making a video about it. The question is, has Leo Scala made the Gibson Theodore cool? He might have. We'll talk about that in a video later this week, if I can get around to it. Just by the way, just to throw out, and not to make anyone feel sorry or sympathy for me or anything like that, but I am still about 70, 75%. I'm not at 100%. So I'll do my best and do my best. And I think yesterday's video was a clear symbol that I'm at my 75% rather than 100% because it was like 6 minutes long or something. And normally I won't publish anything unless it's at least 8 or 9 minutes long. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyways, one other thing. If this live stream gets 200 likes, one of you lucky people will get a cardboard cutout, life size, I believe, of Taylor Swift. So get liking. And I'm very scared of how many accounts Glenn might actually have to be able to push up that number, but it'll be fine. It'll be worth it for the channel. Yeah, Scott with the early hello. Good to see you in the chat nice and early, Scott. Thank you so much. And he also has a link there at the very top of the chat for you if you want to check out this week's video. It was Dave Mustaine's newest Gibson signature is about to drop, and I can't tie down a specific date. I've been given 3 dates, all from equally reputable people. So I'm hoping one of those dates comes true. One of them is in like 2 weeks, and one of them is in 2 months. So, and the other one's somewhere in the middle. So we'll I really can't tie down a date yet, but what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on it. If you've seen the video, you know my thoughts on them. Meh. Uh, but a lot of people, of course, will like them and think they're cool. So let me know what your thoughts on that are as well. And if you want to pop in thoughts on any other guitar news, feel free to do so. Any new releases? I know there was the Fender, what's his name? Phineas Acoustasonic. I don't really care about that, but if you want to talk about that, we can too. Rob says it was a lovely video, and a lovely video it was, Dave. Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate your support, my friend. I'm going to talk to you about YouTube and subscribers and subscriber numbers and a number of channels who are faking their YouTube success and why that's a bad thing for the entire guitar community. There's a couple of channels in particular that are, I'm just going to say it, they're taking the piss and it's not fun and it's not fun to see it. It's very demoralizing in a lot of ways, but it's actually hurting the guitar community on YouTube. So we're going to talk about that. I'm not going to name names, but I think you'll see it when I tell you how to spot these channels. And it's honestly, it's stupid on their part, but it is what it is. We all make our decisions in life and have to live with them. So let's dive in. I'm still in the pre 10 p.m. chat. I'm sure I'll get down to this stuff. But let's see what else was going on. Richard Clark is here. Great to see you, Richard. Hope you're Rob F, by the way. Forgot to say it, sir. Glad to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Always great to have you in the chat with us, Rob. Glad you're obviously a little better, Dave. Thanks, Richard. Yes, absolutely. And, trucking on. A lot going on in life and in general. And yeah, YouTube sometimes just has to take a back seat. But yeah, last week I just wasn't in a good way. And probably by about 10:30, I was out for the count, so I wouldn't have been much joy on the live stream last week. But here we go for this week. Try and make it a bit better. Rob says, I spent the last couple of hours replacing 250k pots on my Mustang with 500k's going to push in an amp, to plug in an amp, pushing it up. Maybe it won't be a good stream. And test things out now. Wish me luck. Well, good luck, Rob. I'm sure you've told us how it went. Maybe you haven't. I don't know, but hope it went well. Hope it goes well. Hope it's going well. My good friend, formerly known as T, is here. Good to see you, sir. Hope you are doing well. Says, thank Flip, there was a no show last week. Went down to see a Rory Gallagher tribute band and came home half pissed. Maybe a bit more than half. Well, that's acceptable, sir. I'm glad that, my spidey senses came to me and said, don't do the live stream. T needs to go see a Rory band. That's kind of person I am. Just let people have opportunities to see cool bands. T says, Rob, you need to get a giant amp, buddy. We're calling you Rob McFly. Nice. I like it. Yeah, that's definitely something we can look at. Changing up the names a little bit here. Everyone gets their own nickname. T says, caught up with some of your videos. Keep on rocking. But that's not to me. That's to Scott. Yeah, Scott is the funnest of dudes. You have to. I hope Scott doesn't mind me saying this. You have to really have a good sense of humor and also just love music. And if you do, you'll dig Scott Bogfoot, because I love guitars. But the dude is fun. He's one of the funnest people that I watch. He's not one of the YouTubers I'm giving out about, by the way. But we'll do that later. Maybe about halfway through the show. So in about 35 minutes or so. Scott says, thank you, G. I got like 1,500 now, so there's always something. Jesus, 1,500 videos is impressive, man. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I don't think I have. Nearly 5 years, 4.5 years. And I don't think I have anything like that. Of course, I've probably about 6 videos this year, so that's not really surprising. I can't dig into it now, but I'm sure someone will tell me how many videos I've got on YouTube. Some years, too many. Some years, not enough. By a mile. Most years, not enough. But there you go. Onwards and upwards, says T, indeed. Rob says, partial success. There's a problem with the middle position of the three-way switch. Only one of the two P90s work. Both neck and bridge work fine alone. Oh, so in the middle position, only one of them's working. Is it always the same one that works? I don't know. It seems interesting. If they're both working individually, that's a bit weird. I don't know how to fix that myself. So don't listen to a word I say. Is the pickup dead, says Scott. There we go. Formerly known as T, says Rob. I have a stack of two 2x12s that sit on top of a matching 19-inch rack. Sounds like a nice rack. All 3 over 6 feet tall. Does that count? And T says Rob McFly it is. There we go. Yeah, it sounds cool. Sounds like a cool setup, man. Yeah, listen here. What else we got? Rob says, to Scott Bogfoot, each pickup works by themselves. Switch up, switch down. It's the middle position where only one works. That's weird to me. I know someone smarter than I probably has an answer for you. Cushman NYC says, hey all, great to see you, Cushman. Hope all's rocking for you over there. Always glad to have you with us in the chat. And Rob F says, I think it's time to get some whiskey sour and break out the voltmeter. Whiskey sour is always a good choice. Yeah, absolutely. Scott Bogfoot says, hey Cushman, and lots of hey Cushman stuff. Formerly known as T says, Rico Dave, the question has to be asked. What in the name of Flip are you doing with a Taylor Swift cover? I don't have it. I don't have one, but I know where to get my hands on one, so to speak. So if we get 200 likes, I'll send it to you, T. Or if, maybe we'll just randomly select somebody in the chat tonight to win the Swiftie prize. What I really don't want is like the word of that to get out and like this chat be bombarded with 4,000 Swifties trying to win a life-size cutout of Taylor Swift, and then I have to actually send it to someone. But what would be funny is if that happened and then Muddy H2O was randomly selected as the winner of the prize, because he's a big Swiftie. So that would be fun. Let me see, what have we got here then? What else? Scott Bogman says, I almost got arrested because of a celebrity cardboard cutout. That's a story we need to know. I think you told us this story before, sir, way back in the day. But yeah, feel free to give us some breadcrumbs of ideas if you would choose to. Sounds like a great story. Richard Virginia says, "What's up, everyone? I just got the new 59 reissue Les Paul in an exclusive finish from Sweetwater. This is a definite upgrade from the previous model, and yes, it is worth the money." Yeah, like I don't know if I've been 100% clear about it, but I actually think the Epiphone, the new 59s, the one with the Gibson style headstock and the custom bookers, they're actually not bad value for money because they have those custom bookers. Those are a massive upgrade on anything they're putting out. So yeah, that's cool, Richard. Hope you enjoy that. And yeah, I can't reveal too much, but I have a Les Paul project working for a video at some point towards the end of the year, where I'm going to have a few Les Pauls competing against each other, and that might be one of the ones I go to see how it goes. But there's two others I have my eyes on, and that I'm pretty sure are going to be part of it. It's going to be very cool if I can manage to pull it off, and Gibson are going to hate me, so what's new? Yeah, I'm not getting invited to Gibson's booth at NAMM next year. By the way, little exclusive for you. I mean, it's not exclusive if you get email updates from them, but Fender, Gibson, and PRS have committed to being exhibitors at NAMM next year as part of an enhanced, longer, bigger, better NAMM experience. I don't know if I'm able to go in January because I've got a lot happening right now, but that might be enough to make me go, fuck it, I'm going for a few days to see what happens. So yeah, let me know what you think of that news as well. That's I think it's great. I think it's great. As I said, when I was at NAMM last year, it was in April last year, just in case you forgot, a lot of people saying it's just weird not having Gibson, Fender, or PRS here, particularly Gibson and Fender. People who'd been to like every NAMM show their whole life were like, it's just weird. It's just weird not having them. Gibson used to take up the whole second floor, and Fender would be here, and blah blah blah. And it was like, yeah, it did kind of feel like everyone was talking about that. So I'm interested to see what they do. I'm excited as well that it could lead to some good video collaboration possibilities. Although I'm no Steve Cassidy. I can't be nice to people all the time. So I don't know how that would work in a social setting. But there you go. We'll see what happens. Scott says, no, I don't believe pleading the fifth works in Canada. What was that all about? Well, pleading the fifth is specifically a US law, right? So there must be some version in Canada though of the same laws. Most places have more or less the same laws, unless you go to certain parts of the world where they chop your hand off for stealing stuff, and things like that. Or France, they do lots of stuff like that in France. You can do whatever you want, I believe. DMAC is here. Great to see you, DMAC. I hope you are well, my friend. Says, hey everyone, congrats on the LP, Richard. Yes, indeed, lots of congrats are due in that case. Echoed by Rob and a couple others. Rob F asks, Richard Virginia, is that the LP with the Royal T-Burst finish? If so, what are your thoughts on the VOS? Interesting question. I'm not sure of the colors that are available in that one yet, but because I forgot them, I mean. But yeah, it's very cool. I think they're all pretty good colors for the most part. T says, was on a session one night, went back to a friend's father's bar. Those are the best kind of sessions. Next morning, he came in to open up. He found a 6-foot ice cream in the middle of the bar. No claiming the fifth. He knew it was us. Was this like recently, like last week or something, T? I feel like this was not. You're passing this off like this was in your teenage years, but I don't think it was. Just for evidence, I've been involved in many a story like that myself in my younger days. I'm much more mature and sensible these days, obviously. T also says, in our defense, we found it outside a shop at 3 a.m. We only brought it up the road because we thought someone might steal it. There you go. That's the kind of logical thinking us Irish people are experts at, looking after that ice cream soda. I know a fella who's looked after a few road signs for years because of that. Just found them outside on the street, just took them home safe, and a couple of traffic cones as well. It's not me. Again, someone more responsible and stuff. Richard Virginia says, Rob F, I thought I was not going to care for it, but I really love the look and feel. That's for the BOS finish. That's nice. It's very good to hear, man. Rob says, glad to hear it, Richard. I'm a sucker for cherry bursts, so I chose the Epi LP with the shiny finish. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's very good. Ryan Byrne is here. Great to see you, Ryan. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Always great to have you with us in the chat on a Saturday afternoon for you. I think so. Let's just call it afternoon. We move on. Joe Marauder is here as well. Great to see you, Joe. Says, anyone know Ohm's law when it comes to adding a cabinet to a combo? No, definitely not. Cushman says, I'm a sucker for a honeyburst. Got two plain top and a flame top. Got two, a flame top and a plain top. Okay, got two. That's nice. That's nice, man. So yeah, plain. I mean, honeyburst is a nice finish. I do enjoy that one. It's not boring. Let's just say that. Richard Virginia says, by the way, I never pay retail, and neither should anyone else in this room. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, do my best to make an offer, especially with big box stores. They can always cut a little bit off for you. Although the last time I actually tried to buy a guitar, it was a Les Paul, and I made an offer, and the guitar store in question never responded. It wasn't a lowball offer. It was like, basically give me $50 off, and they were like, nah, just not going to respond to that guy. This is part of the problem when you're 3-chord Dave. I'm not a big YouTuber, not a celebrity, I'm not anything like that, but you do come, if they've seen you with a little bit of notoriety and they're like, oh, he might review us as a store or something, we don't want to send them stuff like that. And of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take a small guitar store and complain about them. Now, Thoman, I will give out about at the moment because my last experience with them wasn't great, but we'll see what happens in the future. I'll just take a drive up to their store someday, and hopefully they will sell me the guitar. But it's like 2 or 3 hours away, 3 hours maybe, so I don't really want to. Scott Bogford says, Rob F, you'd like the Joe Bonamassa Normburst 60. Yeah, that would be the exact color I think you're talking about, for sure. Formerly known as T says, Richard, haggling is half the fun. It can be. I would always say, just like, haggle but be respectful. And I know that's probably just how you guys are, but there's a lot of people, like when I've been selling guitars, I have had the shittiest lowball offers on things. And I'm like, why would you even think I would sell this for 40% of what I've listed it for? Like, don't be ridiculous. So anyway, some people do that, and I would say just be respectful to the seller. They're obviously trying to get whatever they paid for it back plus a little bit of profit. So that's and if it's a store though, like, they've got margins. Like we talked about that recently. There's a lot of big margins in the guitar world for guitars, so they can take a few bucks off and it not harm them out that much. So feel free to just throw a cheeky offer. What's the worst they can do is say no, it's got to be full price, which they probably won't. Ryan Byrne says, I like darker bursts. Nothing wrong with darker bursts, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. As tastes change, like, obviously different things will become, I suppose, of your favor. I used to love tobacco bursts, like really dark tobacco bursts. I don't dislike them now. I just have moved on to kind of other finishes being my preference on Les Pauls, for example. But yeah, there's definitely ebbs and flows for me, and changes the taste, what I do and do not like and stuff. So anyways, Rob F says, I would Scotty Bogfoot, but I'm quite happy with my DIY Peter Green LP. Next guitar will likely be a Gibson Red SG. I'll get a white jumpsuit and pretend I'm Pete. Hey, Pete was actually, that's one of the things that it was many years before I picked up an SG, but it was one of those defining images of a guitar that I remember thinking, like, I really want to be a good guitarist at some point in my life. Still working on that, but seeing Pete Townsend playing and smashing the crap out of guitars, for some reason, and mostly SGs, was so fun. I was very into the Who when I was a teenager, so yeah, it's probably, it's always stuck with me, that image of Pete smashing up his SGs. John Marauder says, I love the iced tea color. Gibson calls mine smoky quartz. Where'd they get these name colors, dude? But yeah, very cool, man. Cushman says, I have a transparent red Les Paul custom and I like it. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. The transparent finishes are good when you can see through the wood grain and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. I like it, whether it's flamey or plain top or whatever. I like the old nice finish being transparent because it's only a hint of it. It's very cool. Um, Rob F says Scott Bog, but it could be worse. I could get a bass and skeleton costume and pretend to be Mr. Entwistle. I mean, yeah, that'd be something. But like, then we don't, if you did that, then we'd have to get someone to be Keith Moon, and I don't know if I've got what it takes to be Roger Daltrey. So I don't know, but we could have a the Who tribute band. That'd be fantastic. I'd love that. I know a guy called Mike Smoky Quartz, says Ryan. All right, I don't know. I don't think I need to ask any more questions on that. But thanks for sharing, just in case there's a dodgy story there. Todd Moore is in, I see, because there's a super chat from Todd Moore. Thank you so much, Todd. Your generosity has not gone unnoticed. Thank you so much, sir. Glad you feel better. Thank you, sir. Glad you feel better also. But yeah, glad to be back and doing, I can't say the Lord's work, doing Cesar's work. Yeah, why not? Rob F says, in regard to the Mustang, it looks like it's a Switchcraft 3-way toggle switch that's acting up. Darn thing is barely 6 months old. You know, I will give it a good blast of air, see what can be done with it. Sometimes it might have just got something trapped in it or something. My very basic understanding of how these switches and stuff work, I would say try that, see what happens. But then again, I would also preface that with don't listen to me. Those things. Ryan Byrne says, transparent red is awesome. I like the factory burst and southern fade or bourbon the best. Yeah, bourbon bursts are quite nice, to be honest. Richard Virginia says, don't forget to like the for that life-size Taylor Swift cutout. Yeah, how are we doing on that? 18 likes, so I'm not too concerned right now. I'm just worried that like Twitter or X for you pedantic people will have like Three Chord Dave's doing a live stream. You can win a Taylor Swift cutout. Don't tweet about that, please. We can all do without the tweets sharing the word, unless they're also guitar nerds who want to come and join us each and every Saturday. But anyway, Richard Virginia says, don't forget to, oh, that was the one I just read out. Ryan says he played hopscotch. I'm not so sure. Is that code? What are we doing here? I'm going to move on. William Forrest is here. Great to see you, William. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Rob F says, wow, where did the afternoon go? It's almost time. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to finish the Mustang tomorrow. Lots of time in the afternoon, sir. Lots of time. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's almost bedtime for me. So just to spend another hour with you guys and then bedtime. So I'm looking forward to. It's been a long day. Formerly known as T says, time for a beer. The bearded one is here. Someday I might surprise you and not be the bearded one anymore. Although I know I've said that 1,000 times. I'm too scared to do it. I'm not going to do it. Rob F says, Richard, I'm really looking forward. I'm really having a difficult time refraining from making couch jokes. All right, well, we just won't make those jokes and move on, please, Rob. I thought you were more mature than I, sir. Clearly not. Let me pause for time while I try to figure out where I was before all the comments dropped. Couch jokes. There we go. Eric Lidinger says, hey all, great to see you, Eric. Hope you're well, my friend. And Rob F says, T, I'm sure Dave wouldn't mind if you had a beer prior to his arrival. Our agreement is that T is not allowed to touch 1 drop of alcohol unless I have started the live stream. And if he does, he's banished from YouTube forever. Not my YouTube channel, all of them forever. Of course, I do not think in any way Rob is deterred from having a cold one before I turn up. He's just switching to beer, I think is probably what's happening. Kushman says, get me a cold Rolling Rock, and I twisted one up. Nice. Sounds like you're having a nice day. Yeah, nice. T is on the Erdinger, which is something I should really see if I can get a hold of. I haven't had any on the show for probably ever. I don't know. It's not one of my faves, I gotta tell you, but I'll have a go. So he says, just about to fire up one myself, Kush. I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. Whatever. I think I have a no. I think Todd told me what it was once. Ryan Burns says, couch jokes and Kush. Say nothing. Say nothing. Benny Larson's here. Great to see you, Benny. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Rabef says, I ran out of Munchen Spatten in the middle of the week. Really jonesing for more beer. It sounds, I mean, that's quite a predicament. Hopefully you will be restocked soon, sir. Let me see. Rob F is saying hello. Benny Larson is saying hello to folks. Ryan says, I'm drinking a 6 of my Tajski my Polish buddy sent me. Very cool. Very cool. I don't think I've had that particular Polish beer, but I did see it in the store today. Because I remember looking at it and being like, can I pronounce that on the live stream? I don't think I can. There you go. Let me see. How are we now? We've got this one. Oh, Ryan Burns is pretty good. Zywich, maybe, is nice too. I think I had that one. That one I do think is nice, yeah. DMAC says, I like the Epi Prophecy series, which seems to be much of the vibe. 24 frets. Anyway, the new Mustaine is chasing. Yeah. I didn't make too, maybe I did make too much of a deal of it in the video, but the phrase I finished creating a new Les Paul, it's like, dude, you just got 24 frets. It's been done before. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, I thought it was funny when he's like, I finished creating the Les Paul. Well done. Well done. It must have taken you all of 35 seconds. Yeah. But anyway, it's good. By the way, did you see the demo shop in the US was selling Dave Mustaine Epiphone, what's the thing, prototypes this week? I don't know if they're sold out, but if you're, go to Reverb, go to Gibson demo shop, and if you're not in the US, switch your whereabouts to the US, then you will get yourself, or you can see what they're charging for a Dave Mustaine prototype. They're not actually that badly priced, to be honest. So if you wanted something like that, that's a prototype, you should look at it. They got some V's and stuff, which are cool. Kramers, Epiphones, Gibsons, the whole thing. So yeah, you should check it out. They're probably gone by now, I don't know, but not my thing, really. I mean, the red V is not bad, the Epiphone one. Scott Bogwood says, I hope the cutout just shows up at some unfortunate person's doorstep unexpectedly. All the hilarious things I would do with a Taylor Swift cutout, says Ryan. Do we want to know, Ryan? I mean, maybe, yeah, I think we should. I was going to say we need photographic evidence, but I'm not sure that's a wise decision. But yeah, absolutely, man. You can. It would be yours if you wanted. So you could do whatever you choose to do. So my advice is to bring it to a Megadeth gig and just make it dance. There you go. Anyways, Rob F says, agree, DMAC, the Epi Prophecies are very cool. Sadly, they won't be made. They haven't made any cherry bursts. Yeah, I mean, hey, who knows in the future? Because I think they're going to throw out lots of refurbishment to the lines, stuff like the way they've done with the moderns this year, put out new colors and finishes and stuff. I think they'll do that with a lot of their series over the next few years. It's not from official information, but I kind of get the vibe that's what they're going to do to get people keep coming back and buying the same guitar again and again, but in different finishes, which I'm not opposed to be quite honest. I would like them to do something different every year, not just a finish, but there you go. Rob F says, thank you for the welcome, Three Good Dave. Thank you for being here, Rob. Appreciate it, sir. Those prophecies have the Fishman pups. Yeah, I think they do. Most of them do, right? Let me see. You were correct, Joe Marauder. So yeah, good idea. Good thing I was right on that one. Ryan Bird says, I saw Rory Taste Band last night too at a festival here called the Fourth Sense. Like Taste. I like it. I like that actually. It's a good name. A lot of people can get it. It's cool. Scott Bogwood says you have 336 of the finest quality examples of good YouTube, Dave. I presume I also have 500 videos that are complete shit then. I'm just kidding. Thanks for checking, Scott. That's cool. Yeah, see, 4 years, 4.5 years. Yeah, 4.5 years. Because it was like early January, late January, middle of January when I uploaded the first one, I think. So in 2020. It was pre-pandemic. So before I knew, it was like, you're just another COVID pandemic YouTuber. I'm not. I was doing it before that. So there you go. I actually did think that I was going to get stuck in New York when I was coming home from buying cameras. So, not that we don't sell cameras in Ireland, but there was a specific camera I wanted that hadn't yet been released in Europe that I went over to get. It was a Blackmagic cinema camera, and now I don't use it. So there you go. DMAC says, Joe Marauder, I played the Les Paul and SG Prophecies. It was a couple of years back. I liked them. Really good for higher gain stuff. I prefer passive pickups on guitars, though. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the active pickups, but that's probably just because I don't understand them, honestly. Rob F says, I agree, DMAC. I prefer passive pickups and gain from my amps. Ryan Byrne says, the first Epi Prophecy was an awesome guitars. Haven't tried the new ones. I've heard that from a lot of people, that the first batch were awesome. Scott says, I'd be interested to know how many hours you've done. Your videos are mostly long ones. That's an interesting question. Yeah, maybe there's some way to find that out without adding up all the videos. Also, on my channel, there has been some unlisted or removed. So there's probably, I would say, rounded up to like 350. It's probably what we're doing. Maybe more. Muddy was pissing me off one time, so I deleted or unlisted about 70 videos. So we could be up around 400 at this time. But I would say when it comes to it, in terms of how much time I've put into it, each video, you could say, takes maybe 5 or 6 hours putting stuff together, whether that's researching, reading, checking sources, talking to people about things, asking questions, rewriting scripts, checking camera settings, redoing the video 3 or 4 times because I'm not happy with it. Take after take after take of messing up, like, hey folks, welcome back to the channel, or whatever. Just getting it so wrong, especially in that intro, because I always have an idea what I want to say. I always try to make those first 10 seconds have a little bit of humor in them, or a funny face or something. I mean, obviously it's always a funny face, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'd say each video you can account, I've put in, like, say 6 hours of work, say 5-6 hours of work into them, even the short ones, because maybe 3 hours for the short ones. But yeah, it's been a fun ride. Not always, but for the most part. But thanks, Scott. That's actually an interesting question. I must see if I can find out how long each video has been. Rob F says, Scott Bugwood, have you been on full throttle of late with your video? You have been on full throttle of late with your videos. And T says, Rico Dave, I bet you have a blow up cutout. How do you have a blow up cutout, sir? Tell me how that works. Because if you could provide the details, I'd be interested. No, I really don't. I really don't. But if that changes, I will let you know. It should just be sitting up in the corner there. Scott Bogger says, Rob, thanks. I have about 500 covers pre-recorded, just waiting to come off of my hard drive. Wow, that's dedication. I've never really been able to do pre-recording of videos, honestly. I've tried so many times. I've said so many times I'm going to do it. And then I've gone and recorded 2 videos, put those out, and then have no videos left and be like, all right, I'll just record them on the day. Which is usually what I do now, just because a lot of my videos are news videos, or they're leaked news videos. So what happens is I'm trying to get them out as quickly as possible before Cesar knows that I know the information and he releases the stuff early, or someone else gets there before me. So a lot of the time I'm just rushing to get stuff confirmed, get people in the know to say, yeah, you could make a video about that, it's probably going to be true, stuff like that. So it's very it's for me, it's very difficult to preload that kind of thing, because I'm not psychic enough to do it, to know what's going to come into my inbox next Tuesday. But if it did, that'd be super cool. Richard Clark is here and says, has anyone tried a Warm Audio Foxy Tone Box? I got the Zen clone, and it seems very close. I'm also wondering if anyone is using a good Marshall pedal. Hopefully someone else here has for you, sir. Scott Bogfoot says, Ryan, unfortunately they are, in my opinion, nothing like the original ones. It doesn't matter, sir. It's artistic interpretation, and it's about whether you're enjoying yourself. That's all that matters when you're doing that kind of thing, I think. And if you're enjoying yourself, you dig it, and I can see like a lot of joy in your face and a lot of your cover videos, and that's all that matters. Um, if I was doing cover videos, I would be crippled with anxiety. So that's why I don't do them. Formerly known as T says, Trigger Dave, go to Nam, bud. Especially with the big guns back, you deserve a bit of fun. Thank you, T. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd love to, but the thing is, so much happening over the next few months. I just don't know if I'll be able to get away for time for the next 12 months. If I can, I will. And it'll be great to get kicked out of the Anaheim Convention Center because Cesar saw me walking around. So it'll be, I mean, I think that's where we're bound to meet at NAM somewhere if Gibson are back. So yes, we'll see. But there's a lot more going on with NAM now. It's a 5-day event, and it's a lot of learning, a lot of education, and shows are going on around this. And actually, they sent out an email a few weeks ago. If you have a band and you want to play at NAM, you can apply to do so now. If anyone wants that information, hit me up. My email address is in the bottom of the description of all the videos, and I'll happily send it along to you because it'd be cool if someone from the Three Chord Dave community was playing a show at NAM. That would make me even more inspired to go. It's just whether I can spare 5, 6, 7 days away from the new business that's opening soon in January, when it's already going to be September when we open. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's possible. But like it was last year, it'll be a last minute decision whether I go or not. Richard Clark says, dang, Scott, if we get nuked, at least your channel can go on entertaining us. I mean, I hope if we get nuked, we can still watch Scott's channel. That'd be sweet. Ryan says, I've seen so many guys trying to plead the fifth in Canada. Yeah. Hey, I've seen people in all over the place trying to use American law because of movies, because they feel, I saw this in a movie, I'll say it. There was a video of a guy in Ireland saying something like my First Amendment rights or something are being broken, and he's like, what First Amendment right? What are you talking about? Yeah, it's not. We do have amendments to our constitution, but the first one is not like. Well, the first one's free speech, right? In the U.S., I don't think it is here. It's something else. I couldn't tell you what it is. We don't. It's just not that big a deal. Whatever it is, it's there. It'll do its job. Rob F says, Richard Clark, does a blues breaker count? If so, one of my favorite drive pedals is a JHS Morning Glory. Anything called Morning Glory has got to be a good thing, I feel, especially in my 40s. So yeah, definitely definitely a good one there. Scott Bog says, I'd like to see a new Gothic lineup for those who didn't get one. Yeah, well, spearheaded by Tony Iommi SG, but like a black one with the and I know I hate black guitars. I'm just saying people like them. I don't oppose other people having things they like, and the crosses or crucifixes or whatever they're called. Anyways, that's it. T says, thumbs up people before Marsha shows up. True, yeah, she'll be angry. There we go. There's Richard Clark says, I have a JHS MG, Rob. Used to be an always on, but I just can't get that Marshall thing out of it. Interesting. Scott says, gotta convert the US amendments into metric first. Carry the 3, add the 32. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see what else we got. Rob F says, True River, Virginia, I love my MG through the Fenderish and orange amp, but it will never sound like a JTM 45 or Super Lead. There you go. Todd Moore says, I'm a fan of Dave Mustaine, black guitars and Les Pauls, but his new Dave Mustaine Les Paul is not impressive in my opinion. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree. There's something about it doesn't look Les Paulish to me. I don't know what it is, but obviously it's going off one picture that was tweeted or Instagrammed. What do you call posting on Instagram? Just posting on Instagram? It's not tweeted or whatever. Instagrammed 2 years ago. So there you go. Anyways, I agree with you, Todd. I don't think it's super impressive, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see when we get the official thing come out. Maybe they'll do a few different colors, but the black one for me is just a bit dull. Adfo's here. Great to see you, Apu. Hope you're doing well. I had a Windows 98 SE PC shipped to me. Runs using Guitar Hits 1 and with Hey Joe on the tutorials. Nice. Nice. That is some proper vintage gear right there. Some proper vintage Hey Joe tutorials. Let us know. Let us know how it goes for you. Ryan says tobacco is a bit too dark for me. It does look best on a plain top. Yeah, I would agree with you there. To be honest, I think, yeah, maybe I'd still be 50-50. Rob says Todd Moore, the Dave Mustaine LP specs sound very interesting, though like I commented in Dave's video, the black finish doesn't really do it for me. Correct, sir. Correct. Yeah, it's not an exciting finish. I don't think. It's an interesting comment there. I wonder what that's all about. Robert says Ryan Byrne, red is my favorite color, so I am rather prejudiced towards cherry. Cherry is a good color, nothing wrong with it. Scott Bogwood says, has anyone seen the movie Heavy Trip? It's a Finnish heavy metal band comedy movie. I think it might be brilliant, but I've only seen clips so far. I don't think I have seen. Is it a new movie or an oldish movie, Scott? Um, I haven't seen it anyway, so it sounds like something I would like to watch though. Todd says dark bursts are fantastic, and black is the new black. Trans black over quilt maple is very cool. Trans black, you see that? See, that's a different thing because it's just the solid blacks that I have the issues with, or the solid whites. The trans colors, because you'd be careful saying those words, but you know what I mean. When the transparent, translucent ones, those are quite cool over a maple or top of some kind. Absolutely. My knees hurt us here. Great to see you. My knees. Hope you are doing well. Since Heavy Trip and Deathgasm are both great movies if you're into heavy metal. I think a few of us could give it an no go. Yeah, why not? Scott says, good to hear. I'll definitely be watching it when I get a chance. Ryan says, is there light metal? Yes, that's Nickelback. No, enough hate on Nickelback. They have that song that everyone knows the words to, but pretends they don't like. They're like Creed. Everyone pretends they hate Creed, but then they'll sing along when they come on in a bar or something. Trust me. My knees hurt says, woke up this morning and got myself a beer. The future is uncertain and the end is always near. Actually, it was Mike's lemonade, not beer. I don't know what Mike's lemonade is, but I presume is a tasty, tasty beverage. So best of luck to you, sir. My knees hurt says, I feel like this is light metal. Yes. This show, I'd go with it. Michael Blaney's here, says, evening, everyone. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Light metal, maybe hard rock. Them's fighting words. We've got 6:59 Newfoundland time zone, Dave. Probably the second most confusing time zone to reference. Yeah, I have no idea what. Who knows what time that is, Scott? Even Bug Lips doesn't know what time it is. Rob F says the Google info on Heavy Trip looks very interesting. Any idea where to get a copy of the film? Any movie with a band named Impaled I thought that said Return. I now see that it says something else. Has to be good. I'm just not getting. I don't want to get into the wrong category on YouTube. You know. Todd Moore says light metal. Who the hell would listen to that? Oh, I know a few people. Oh yeah, trust me. The fake the guys who walk around in ACDC t-shirts who've never listened to ACDC, and same with Megadeth and Metallica and stuff. These are just like fashion brands to some people. So those people would listen to light metal. You know, and Jonas Brothers, that kind of thing as well. Anyways, Rob says, call me an old man. Heavy metal was a magazine. I mean, hey, we're all getting in the old age group there. I did say I'd start talking about YouTube stuff around this time, so I'll do a few more comments because I'm finding this interesting. Talk about this movie. T says, after haggling, if you walk away thinking you could have got a few more quid off, and the shop thinks they could have got a few quid more off you, then everybody's happy. Yeah, absolutely. You guys have been great. We've been Megadeth. Does anyone have a bass amp suggestions? I would make videos until Taylor Swift sues the crap out of me to not send it to me. Scott, I think I want to see those videos, man. So Yeah, look out for a postman carrying Taylor Swift down the road on his bike. I don't know if they deliver on bikes, but it's still summertime, right? Maybe they do. Michael Blaney says, is Newfoundland that half hour ahead of what Eastern time? Uh, Good question. It seems like it might be a bit of a strange time. Rob F says Indiana has a county that stay on different time zone than the rest of the state. Well, that's convenient. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. When I worked at Squarespace, I would constantly run into Arizona having some of I think some of Arizona uses daylight savings time and some of it doesn't, and it was always a pain in the ass when that happened. Because people from Arizona were like, "What? Why is my time all fucked up?" And we're like, "We don't know." Anyways, let's talk. Let's not talk about Squarespace. The better, because I'll get in trouble for saying stuff about them being pricks. Scott Bogfoot says, "MKH. I was looking at the fender. Hang on, my knees hurt. There we go. I can make sense of things. I was looking at the Fender Rumble 40 BT Studio. I have no idea if they're any good. Neither do I. Formerly known as T says Rob McFly. I think Ated like to check. I'd like to check that county out. I don't know, man. I don't know what any of you are doing. DMAX says, is that new Katana bass amp good? I'm gonna say no because it's a bass amp, but I'm just kidding, of course. Half hour before Atlantic, 1:30 before EST. What? So, I don't know. What time is it at this second, Scott? Actually, I'll forget what time it is. I'll do my best to remember. Uh, excuse me. Scott says counties shouldn't be able to do that, in my opinion. It makes it a bit tricky, yeah. Like if County Wexford decided to be on a different time zone than the rest of Ireland, it wouldn't work. Because most people don't know what time it is anyway. Michael Blaney says, just got back from Chicago Music Exchange looking at an Ibanez Iceman. Ooh, nice, nice. I like those. They're cool. My needs hurt says, I'm currently playing a PV Bandit 75 1x12 for my for my bass amp. I feel 2x10s might sound tighter. Yeah, I've literally no idea. Hopefully someone here will. Saskatchewan doesn't change time either. It bounces between mountain and central time depending on the time of year. Why people got to be messing with time? T says, Scott, it would definitely confuse the stoners driving through. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good point, I should say. Going to Oregon next month for work. They have no sales tax, so if I buy down there, I can save money. Think of the savings. Yeah, think of the savings. That's what it's all about, man. Rob F says, Phil McKnight likes the sound of the rumbles. That said, single 1x10, the studio will only give you so much thump. Also, you need to consider it an amp with planned obsolescence. Really? Interesting. Michael Blaney says, Scott, have you seen the Ampeg mini stack bass amp? Cool. I have not. And I'm just gonna don't get mad at me. I'm just gonna discourage bass chat because I know nothing about basses at all, and I will embarrass myself. All right, time to talk about YouTube. I'm going to get in trouble for this, by the way. I don't give two flips because I think there's some people out there being detrimental to the guitar community, to guitar YouTubers, and being unfair to guitar audiences here on YouTube because they're lying. Sacks of poop. There's two channels that really have peed me off. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to give too many heavy hints as to who they are. But what they're doing, and I think there's another one Steve Cassidy was mentioning a couple of weeks ago on his show, where guitar YouTubers are buying subscribers and they are positioning themselves as the top guitar YouTubers. And they're not. Now, I have no problem someone working their way from 0 to 100,000 or 200,000, whatever. Good luck to you. It's a hard slog. It's a hard game, this YouTube thing. And whether you put out 50 videos a year or you put out 100 a year or you put out 10 a year, you deserve respect for doing it the right way, which is busting your hump, putting out the videos and hoping that they hit the algorithm in the right way. It gets very demoralizing when you don't see the figures or the numbers that you think you should. It gets very frustrating when that happens. It can also be absolutely wonderful when you do things like live streams and you chat to some cool people every week and you have a great time. And you see people supporting you in your chat sections, and not just supporting you, but defending you. And from, those internet troll people who are, I mean, honestly, I would hate to be that sad a person, but there you go. They arrive. They're there in every channel. You get these people who are just very brave behind their keyboards, but then not very brave in person. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these people who are buying subscribers. Now there is now ways where you can buy subscribers, and YouTube is very unlikely to find out what you're doing, and you rapidly will grow on YouTube, and you'll get up to, what have I got now? 8,030 something subscribers, right? I could be on 100,000 subscribers in 2 months, and it'd cost me about 3,000, 4,000 euros. Say 5,000 and a cap. So if I wanted to get a plaque for the wall, I could spend $5,000 and have it, no problem. And that's what a couple of these channels are doing. And it's pretty, no, it's not thumbs up, flipping thing. It's not cool, because what it does is, a lot of us, you don't make a lot of money on YouTube, right? Let's dispel that myth forever. As a guitar YouTuber, you don't make a lot of money off your ad sales or your AdSense account. You make very little money. If it wasn't for super chats on the channel, I wouldn't get paid every month. I probably wouldn't get paid every 3 months, because the AdSense is just that low. And it's the same. It's been the same for probably the entire time I've ever been monetized. It's people. It's just so difficult to get a good what do they call it, a click-through rate, or I can't remember the terminology they use, but the price per 1,000 clicks that you get. I think the highest I've ever had is $7. But like, if you're talking about finance, crypto, business, anything like that, you're on like 15, 16, 17, maybe even 20, 22 or more per video, and you're getting 5-10,000 views, and you put out 3 or 4 videos a week, you're making a lot of money. In YouTube, it's really not. It's not financially a good business unless you're doing super chats, unless you're getting sponsors. All right, and the reason I'm bringing this up is there's people out there making it look like the guitar space is crooked, and it's run by people like these people I'm talking about, who are very clearly not being honest with their audience and with everyone in the whole game. I walk around and be like, hey, I got 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But here's the thing. If I've 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and I put out a video today, and next Saturday we look to see how many views that video's got, and I've got 900 views. Bear in mind, I have 100,000 subscribers and it's 900 views. That's not right. Especially when you've pushed through that 100,000 or so in the last couple of months, because that means your channel's actively growing. But it's not if you're only getting a few hundred views on 100,000. So here's a way to know if they're doing it or not. It's if they're getting less than 10% of their viewers, of their subscribers watching per video. Because bear in mind, new people will watch and subscribers every single video. Less than 10%, they're buying subscribers. It's just how it works out, because YouTube will push you out to about 20-25% of your subscribers and put you in the top priority for them. Those people who like you are going to watch you. So you're going to get about 10%. That's what they reckon. There's another channel, which is actually, it really pisses me off that this channel, again, I'm not going to say it, but you might twig who I'm talking about. People really respected this channel. It was going along really well. It was a really good channel. I really liked it. I thought it was one of the best channels on YouTube for a while. And then they stopped growing. And they stopped growing because they put out videos about controversial things, and they started a campaign. I shouldn't say it. They did something that was very showing their hand about how kind of people they are. And people stopped watching them, stopped subscribing to them, stopped clicking on their videos as much. Now, I think that naturally goes away and you start growing again after that. After a certain amount of time, you're going back to making just the content people did like. But And I'm going to wrap this up in a second, but the channel now is clearly buying subscribers again, to try and boost their growth, because they too want to be in those the upper echelons of guitar YouTubers, and they can try and get the big sponsors. But what happens is sponsors are willing to offer channels less money because of people like that, because they look at your subscriber count, then they look at your click-through rate, and then they look at your views. So I've had it with with sponsors, and they've looked and we've been talking about things, and they've come out and said, look, honestly, 10,000 subscribers is where we need you to be, and 10,000 subscribers, and you need to get like 3,000 views per video for like 3 months before we can jump on board. Now, these channels probably getting more than 3,000, but it's very obvious what they're doing. So I just want you guys to know what's going on. I want you to kind of keep an eye on it. If you're watching a channel, go to their page and see, does their subscriber count correlate to their view count? If it's a very, very, very low view count on many, many, many videos, and then there's one that has 60,000. Let's say they have 20 videos around about 1,000, and then they have one that has 60,000. Check the comments. If there's no comments or very few comments, they've bought views on that video to make it look like they're doing more. So anyway, it's a shitty process, and it's ruining, honestly, the guitar space for new people coming in. There's plenty of room for new people to come in. There's plenty of people doing the hard work and building up their audience. It takes time, and it takes good work ethic, and it takes probably getting a little bit out of it as well. But the people cheating the system, we're onto you. Everyone knows what you're doing, and you just look fucking stupid, so stop doing it. I'll stop now. I'm sure you'll have questions, which I'll get to in about 20 minutes. We've got a half an hour left. Let's try and get through as many comments as we can. If you know any channels, please don't call them out who are doing this, because I don't want to get in trouble that way. Those channels, if they are watching this video and they know that they're doing it and they want to call me out for saying that they're doing it, I haven't named any channels. If anyone wants to have a YouTube beef, come ahead. I'm waiting for you, because I know you're doing it. So, stop being a dumbass. Anyways, let's roll on and see what else we can do. So, sorry about that. I just had to get that off my chest. It's been bugging me for weeks. It's annoying. Also, YouTube, you should start giving those plaques to people at like 25,000, because you're making it hard for us. I'm just saying. So there we go. Never mind. Like a wooden plaque for 25,000. That'll be fine. Or I'll just buy one off YouTube for like 50 quid. Anyways, rolling on. Let's see what we've got. Because I know that was a bit ranty. Sorry about that. Half an hour to go. I think I've probably already got too many comments. But there's a lot of talk about basses and amps and stuff like that. I'm going to just dodge all that, because I don't want to look silly. Which I probably already do, but there you go. 3 Chord Dave, if I'll go with you if you need someone to hold a camera while you and Cesar have a battle of the bands, of course. Peace, love, and rock and roll. I'm not afraid of Cesar. I think we'll get on like a house on fire. We're both passionate guitar dudes who like Northern era Gibsons, so we'll be buddies, I think. I'll just watch my back for Agnesi, I think. Scott says his inverted cross SG is the one I like the best. That's a good one. T says 22:42, time for beer number 2. Okay, well, not too bad. I'm only 18 minutes behind, actually. That's passable. Scott Bogman says, anyone here own a Tommy Thayer Epiphone? I think there was 2 models. Are you talking about the blue one, or I think there's a silver one, right? But I don't know. No, I couldn't do it to myself. It's blue sparkly one. Nah. Moneysert says Heavy Trip is 5 or so years old. I saw it in English on Netflix, but then pulled that one and replaced it with subtitles. Still worth watching more than once. Very cool. DMX says, I've only seen photos of Tommy Thayer. I don't think I've ever seen one in the wild. I have seen one in the wild. I was more engrossed by the case, the blue case. I think that was pretty cool. Joe Marauder says, Corey Feldman ruined my EVH 5150 popular burst forever. No, man. I honestly think he's taking the piss. I don't think he is being serious at all. Even though he says he is, I don't think so. Number 1 says, I haven't had Mike's Lemonade in a long time. Now craving one like a fiend. Or, I mean, hey, if it's like a fiend, you just got to go with it, man. Todd Moore says Creed played here at Birmingham, Alabama a few days ago, and the show sold out very quickly. But nobody likes Creed. Exactly. And I was traveling earlier this year. I was in we were in a rock bar, and there was a band on. Like, so you get pulled towards the bars where the bands are on, and it was going along. But as soon as they played that one Creed song, what's it called? I can't remember because I don't like Creed. Uh, the the place just started jumping. It was so much fun. But again, we don't like Creed, right? Joe Marauder says you can buy Creed tickets, you can't buy taste. True. Everyone's buying them for that one song. It's probably the best live song that Creed play. Uh, Scott says the Thayer must be super limited. 7:19 p.m. I don't know what you're doing with me time wise. What is reputation of Ibanez guitars? Ibanez are, I believe, now once again back to very reputable and very positive. They've always been a band I've considered as decent. I've never actually owned one, but yeah, I mean they'd be a big brand, good name guitar, I think. Where else are we now? Tweaker Dave, County Kerry is definitely in a different time zone. It's in a different parallel universe. Uh, yeah, say no more. Todd Moore says, Rob F. Heavy Metal was also a great R-rated animated movie. I saw it in a theater at age 12. Something came up about that movie last week sometime, and I saw a load of clips on it, and I was like, I remember seeing it when I was a teen. My cousin and I used to watch all kinds of VHS tapes that we weren't supposed to. Like, my cousin and I saw Taxi Driver when we maybe were 11. uh, because we were left home alone. That was the first time we also experimented with Fanta in whiskey. I didn't know that we were doing that, but there you go. I thought it was just Fanta until I was very drunk at 11. But hey, we won't go into the therapy sessions I need. Rob F says, yes, it was. Todd Moore, the movie was based upon a magazine. This was years before anime became a thing in the US. Indeed, yeah, I think it's an 80s movie, right? It's best to take all YouTubers with a grain of salt, says Michael Blaney. Um, I will say there are some very, very good ones, and there are some very honest and reputable people in the YouTube space, in the guitar space. There's some very cool people, very nice people. I should have mentioned. So, YouTuber I know, very very small YouTuber, like less than 1,000 subscribers, right? Reached out to this one of the channels I was speaking about earlier and said, "Hey, I'm trying to get going. Is there any chance you could help me? We do a collaboration. I've got this cool thing I want to talk about." And he had a really good idea, um, but it would have needed this person's knowledge to do it, or someone like him. And he showed me an email he got back from him, which basically said, "F you, unless you're going to pay me." I was like, well, you're a piece of shit. So yeah, I don't like that. If somebody with 4 subscribers comes to me and says, "Hey, can we do a video together?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm busy, but like, tell me what you want to do. Come up with an idea, send it over, see if we can fit it in." Um, and I'm happy to do it, but there's no need to be a dick to people. What I find most of the time. But there you go. Some people are like that, but there is very cool people in the guitar space. That's what I want to say. There is good people, and unfortunately, the bad people tarnish the good people. So we should really need to do something about those people who are bad. T says, Rico Dave, you got to stop saying flip instead of flip. What about saying it backwards? Cuff. Sounds incredible. No, man, there's kids watching. This is a family channel. John Rogers says, YouTubers equals humanity. Possibly, yeah. Paul McCartney said there's good and bad in everyone. Seems to be a lot more bad in some people. Todd Moore says, Rob F, yeah, I had been a fan of the magazine since age 10, so I was thrilled to see the movie because boobs. Rob F says, yes, boobies. I mean, it's always a good time. Joe Rogers says, South Park heavy metal episode is better than the movie. Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen South Park in a long time, but I would enjoy it, I think. Richard Clark says, easy to spot the short, meaningless comments of bought subs. Then I checks their activity and how long they have been a member. When I catch someone buying, I'm done with their channel. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that's what you should do, but I would do the same thing. Uh, just see, I have to watch a lot of channels, see if their content is colliding with mine or something like that sometimes. But some I just can't stand them. Just can't stand them. Anyway, listen. At the same time, I should also throw out do what you got to do, but know that you're not respected if you're doing stuff like that, and it's so easy to see. Uh, Todd Moore says, Joe Marauder, with all due respect, no, it's not. Um, oh, it's not better. South Park isn't better than the movie. I haven't seen the South Park, so I'm going to withdraw myself from that conversation. Rob F says, Dylan finally made 100,000 subscribers last week. Took him nearly 10 years of slow building the channel and community. Um, a YouTuber taught me how to fix my lawnmower, says Joe Marauder. Yeah, YouTube's great for that. Like sometimes you just look up, although you're just good and bad for that, because sometimes you look up how to fix something and then you fix it and you don't need to see that video or videos like it anymore, but then you still get recommended those for a week. Does that happen to everyone else? Because I definitely feel like it's something that is the most annoying thing on YouTube. It's even more annoying than people buying subs, to be honest. Like, how do I fix? There's nothing here that needs to be fixed. How do I fix this thing? The light's not working. Here, you watch 20-minute video, follow along, make the changes, fix it. Great. Then don't need to fix it anymore. It's fixed. So, but YouTube will show me 40 more videos on how to fix it. Anyways, I do have a grudge against YouTube as well, if you haven't noticed. Richard Clark says, I need to be able to trust my channels because I'm usually trying to figure out my gear. Why would I want someone who lies from the start? That's a good point, Richard. But look, I will point out as well, people would say that I'm lying in a lot of videos because I put out information that maybe isn't public knowledge yet or isn't known by many people, like leaky stuff. And a lot of people, and I've seen it in the comment section, I know a lot of you guys jump in and do this, but the people will say stuff negative, like this guy's making it up, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's lying, he's talking BS, and that's fine. But then, like 6 months down the line, when those things that I've put out come true, those people have forgotten that they've called me a liar in the video where I said this was going to happen in the future, or 2 years ago, or whatever it is. So yeah, some people are dishonest, but there's a lot of people out there just trying to get good information out there. And I'm not suggesting you were saying anything such thing. You should be able to trust the people you're watching. Unfortunately, you can't, and it's just the way it is. Some people are jerks, but hey, it's all good. It's all good. Hopefully, I mean, there's channels that I am seeing growing really well. They're making amazing things. A lot of us follow the same steps. Try to do giveaways, try to do live streams, try to do this, try to do that. And it takes a long time, and it's frustrating at times. But and it's more frustrating when you see people cheating the system and feeling like when you talk to sponsors that you're being hurt by someone else's actions, which is specifically where this actually my whole rant came from, because someone who wanted to sponsor me recently came along and was like, this person, blah blah blah, their figures aren't right. So can we see your figures? I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, your figures look like what I'd expect. And mine too. They are exactly what I'd expect. Weirdly enough, YouTube shows me that I have 0% female audience, and I know that there's at least 3 ladies who watch this channel. So that's all I can say on that. Ryan says Darren Braun and Guitar Max for sure. No, I'm just going to stand up and say those are not the guys I'm talking about at all. So whether they are or not doing that, I don't know. But I have other issues with certain YouTubers that are not related to what I'm talking about. But just for what I'm talking about, it's not those 2 particular channels. I'm not going to say yes though to any of them. Marauder says when. Um, well, they all have the same style. Clickbait, easy to spot. Clickbait's another issue, but YouTube's never going to stop that from being the main thing that gets you a lot of clicks, a lot of views forever. Does anyone really want to be a Trogley? I mean, it's controversial, but I don't mind Trogley. He does his thing. He's just out there trying to, buy all the guitars. He wants to be Joe Bonamassa. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But yeah, he does his thing. It's okay. He's not everyone's cup of tea. That's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Obviously. So, it's just he gets a lot more people checking to see if he's a cup of tea. He's definitely not doing anything inappropriate on his channel. He's a dude that I think does it right. But yeah, I don't want to be him. So John Roach says Druggy lowballs the crap out of people, and he's a trust fund baby. That's a bit harsh, Joe. It's a bit harsh. I don't know about the lowballing, but I know when I tried to lowball him once, he didn't answer me. Michael Blaney says, yes, Joe, I'm not a fan. I think that's a lot. I think like he just rubs people the wrong way. But other people he rubs the right way, if you know what I'm saying. So they love him. His fans are super fans. You'll see people on Facebook. There's a few Facebook groups like Gibson Les Paul owners or vintage Les Paul owners, something like that. And people know nothing about their guitars that they've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for, and they put up a question. What does this serial number mean? Or what pickup should be in this? And every single post has somebody say, ask Trogley. Every single one. And other people are going, you don't ask Trogley, we'll tell you, blah, blah, blah. And then people will continue to give the wrong information. So it's one of those. I don't think he's a bad dude. I just think a lot of people don't like his style, which is, look, it's just the way it is. A lot of people don't like my style, and that's okay too. And number one says, I haven't seen Daryl Brown video in quite a while. Haven't really thought about why, but someone said that he just quit posting a few months ago. Haven't looked for myself. I don't really watch his videos, so I couldn't tell you. I've never been subscribed to him or anything, so I know who he is. I've checked out his channel. If he's got something, pops up on my feed, I'll check it out for a minute or two just to see what it is. But I've never really been on his channel. Manister says one of my videos has like 6,500 views, but they were all from like 20 seconds. They're only like 20 seconds long. So someone ran some kind of viewer app on that one video. That can happen too. And also sometimes the YouTube algorithm just pumps a video out of nowhere. So like it could be your first video uploaded. You haven't done anything with it in like a month. And then all of a sudden it gets a few thousand views. But it's people who are not interested in your subject, or you're not interested in your video. So they're like, what is this? Oh, it's not something I'm interested in. They click off. Every single video will get people clicking off that quickly. So it could have just been the algorithm having a crazy day. Like one day it pumped one of my videos with like 30,000 views in a day. It was like, it doesn't do that to me. So I don't know why it did that one day. It wasn't a particularly great video, by the way. But, YouTube issues. John Rogers says, I do like the way he shows the wiring, though, and the pickup cavities. There you go. Found something. Ryan Burns says, how do they buy subscribers? There's many services. It's as simple as typing into Google, buy 10,000 YouTube subscribers, buy 50,000, whatever. A good few companies will come up. There's a few of them as well that pitch themselves not as buying you subscribers, but as providing you a service. We're an agency who helps your videos and your channel get seen by more people who want to see your. And they pitch this thing where it's like, we will create social media accounts and post stuff related to your topic, and then every link will go back to your channel and those people will subscribe. But really what they're doing is buying those accounts will make, there's no social media accounts being made. They're just going to buy you the subscribers that they promise you. Or you're buying the subscribers that they promise you. And it's basically just like, phone farms, engagement farms, whatever it is, where they have like 100 phones on the wall and each one has 10 different accounts that they log in and out of and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very easy to do though. You could go on now, buy the subscribers and do it. The problem is, I probably shouldn't say this, anyone can do it for any channel. You don't have to prove that you own the channel. You just give a link to the channel. Please, nobody buy me subscribers. I don't need them. I don't want them. Thank you. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good people to do that. But anyway, look, it's a problem. YouTube need to clamp down on it, and they don't do enough, in my opinion. But someday they will. And I've seen many people say, oh, I just lost 40,000 subscribers. What happened? You bought those subscribers, my friend. That's why they've been removed. Number one, $20 super chat, sir. That is epic. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, and thank you for the fun emoji. I like it. Thanks so much, sir. You are the coolest. Well, there's a lot of cool people here, but you're in the top 10 cool people. Anyways, Joe Moroder says, I live 50 miles from in Ohio. I knew a guy who knew him. Okay. Maneser says, make your own 100,000 subs silver plaque, some plywood and silver spray paint. I have considered, downloading the old files for the CNC machine and getting it to rip through one day. But honestly, I haven't turned my CNC machine on in a long time because I don't know anywhere to put it. So maybe someday I'll do it. And I couldn't be bothered doing it by hand. So let's see what happens. Um, Ryan Bird says Trogley wasn't a trust fund baby. Yeah, I believe he wasn't. He worked in a supermarket. Um, sure, most trust fund babies don't do that. I will say, I think his story, and I think he's told this many times, that his mom did buy him his first vintage guitar to get him into the business of flipping guitars. And look, if my folks had lots of money, they would do that too. But I don't think it's like I don't think it's. I don't think I honestly. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm just going to say that I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't have anything against the guy. Except I wish he'd sold me that piece Les Paul for the price I offered him, but then you can't have everything. Rob says, I'll say it. I enjoy Trogley's nightly videos. Would I buy a guitar from him or sell a guitar to him? Probably not. Hey, listen. I don't think he's the worst guy. I think he has this reputation in the guitar community that's, I'm not going to say unfair, but like some people like him and they're great and they love him and they'll chant his name, and some people just don't like him. He's literally, you love or hate him, and the people who hate him will shout just as loud as the people who don't like him, or as do like him, I should say. So I don't know. I think I have no problems with him whatsoever. But he's at that level where he can do pretty much whatever he wants on YouTube and he'll make a lot of money. So that's good for him. Daily videos is very hard to do, by the way, so kudos to him for keeping it up for as long as he has. It's not easy in any way to do a video every single day. Richard Clark says, why was he working at a grocery store when he started if he had a trust fund? It's a good question. It's a good question. DMAX is crazy. You could probably buy 100,000 subscribers and not have any videos. Metaphor for the modern world. That's true, DMAX. You can, absolutely. Ryan Burns says he isn't a trust fund baby. He tells stories like all Ohioans. Ohioans? It's a nice word. I like it. Formerly known as T says, anyone else getting hit with ads tonight? That was my fourth. I don't get ads, but I'm sorry, T. YouTube randomly seems to pick on people in the stream. There's no way for me to control it. I apologize. At least I haven't found a way of doing that. Let's see, are we giving away a Taylor Swift thing? 25 likes, so it doesn't look likely. We got about 10 minutes to go, and I don't know how far away. Let's see. Anyway, Richard Clark says, well, his stories included a lot of pics of him working at a grocery store. Okay, I don't want this Trogley thing to be a big thing in the chat, guys. Look, here's the thing. He's a good YouTuber. He does things the right way. That's what I mean by that. He makes videos every day, which is a very difficult task. It's not easy making a video every single day, but he does, as far as I'm aware, still. And love him or hate him, you're right. If you love him, awesome. If you don't love him, awesome. There's no right or wrong, because it's your opinion, your taste. It's all good. He's not doing anything wrong. He's one of the straight guys, I think, on the in the YouTube community. I mean, obviously, calling your audience idiots for thinking that something is a scam when you're advertising it, that's not a good move. But he's moved past that, so there you go. Ryan says, I find Trogley annoying and he has an inflated view of himself, but he only had cash when his channel went big. That is true. Scott says, I have a distrust fund. Indeed. Number one says, trust me, I have no funds. It's because you just gave them all to me, sir. Thank you so much for that super chat once again. Let's see. I'm going to try and get through the Trogley debate because I don't want to have one. Creed and Nickelback are popular in Nashville. Their sounds are all over live sets in the bars. Really influenced new pop country, in my opinion, says DMAC. There you go. I don't have a problem with them, either of those bands. To be quite honest with you, I will happily, when I have had a few beers, sing those songs when I'm out in an environment where it's okay to do that. Richard Clark says, I don't care for Trogley at all, but he made his money buying and selling shrewdly, not from a trust fund. That's fine. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to pick any more Trogly comments. I'll try my best. Benny Larson, 23:05 Irish time. Thanks, Benny. Appreciate it. I'm way further behind than I thought. Um, Let me see. Where else are we? Very good, sir. Formerly known as T. My whiskey sour was 50-50, so I'm feeling no pain. But there you go. Grocery stores pay really well, says Joe Marauder. Depends on your position, I suppose. Number one says, Dave, if you become one of the good people, stay that way. If I become... Wait a minute. What? I'm the best people. What are you talking about? Ryan says, nobody's saying he's the king, but the guy gets huge views daily. It's more about him. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't mean to start a Trogly debate, guys. Honestly, nothing against the guy whatsoever. He is, look, but it shows, look, right, how polarizing he is as a person, as a YouTuber. Some people love him, some people just don't like him. And there's all kinds of reasons why. And look, I'm going to say, whatever you feel about him, you're right. That's it. And he does get some nice guitars in from time to time. We can all agree on that, right? Michael Blaney says, the thing I dislike about YouTube guitar channels are when they spotlight products all on the same week. Yeah. That's down to the brands. They want to do that. The guitar channels want the free stuff and the money. And, you know, you're going to get left out. I think it was KDH did a video about critiquing that, and he was 100% right. He was like, it'd be way better if they did like one person released their video every day, or one person every couple of days or something like that. Everybody would get views then. But the way they do it, where they just scattergun, everyone put out their video, at most 2 or 3 videos about that particular guitar are going to be watched. So someone's going to lose views in that week because of it. So they pay them they pay them pretty well, especially at the higher end of the subscriber counts, and they do send them guitars for free. So that's always a nice thing. I can't say I'd turn it down myself, but I would try and ask them, can I do mine after everybody else has done it? Because I prefer to do that. You'll also notice most of those people don't go back and do a 30 days later with the guitar video. So but you got to maintain your relationships with the sponsors, and that's what they want you to do. That's what you got to do. Scott Bogg says, I don't see why people have to love or hate content creators. Geek Lord, for example, I don't really like him much, but I watch every one of his videos religiously because of the guitar related information. Yeah, I mean, you can, I'll tell you how I feel about it, and this is probably skewed by the fact that I'm a content creator myself. There is no reason to tell somebody you hate them or they're stupid ever, really. So you can make a video and you think they're talking out their backside, and all you got to do is go click and next video. And if they're talking crap or you don't like them, watch the next thing. It's fine. But some people think they got to tell someone what they think of them. You really don't. You really don't. There's no need for it. But hey, it's the world we live in, unfortunately. I like personally, I know you guys, a lot of you guys will know this, but the comment sections of my videos can get rough at times. If I've made a video, someone disagrees with me, or a few people disagree with me, or whatever, there's all kinds of slanderous comments, all kinds of horrible comments come in. And a lot of you guys have started defending me, which is really great. And I look in all the time, but I always leave it like a week before I read the comments on a video. And then I'll see, or somebody will say to me, hey, you should check out your comment section for that video. Your dudes are smashing it, like telling people to get a grip of themselves and stuff like that. So you know, I really do enjoy that part of it. But as a content creator, you're putting stuff out there. People are going to love you or hate you, and the ones who hate you are going to try and make you walk away. That's what they do. Don't know why. Just, it'd be much better just watch the next thing. But that's who they are. Ben Allmark, great to see you, sir, says, hey Dave, jumped in late, wanted to say hi and wish you well. Cheers, folks. Hope everyone's doing well. Great to see you, Ben. Hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, but you're just trying to get us info, Dave. That's why I'm here. You have a track record of knowing stuff ahead of time. You aren't making a buck off of me. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, that's true. Like I'm way out of the loop right now. This is probably why I haven't made a lot of videos this year, is I'm way out of the loop. Haven't really been chasing down information and stuff like that. But it is one of those things. I think you have to trust that I'm doing my best to bring you the right information. I know a lot of you guys do. And then the people who've like seen me for the first time going, hey, this new Epiphone thing's going to happen. Here's what Epiphone are doing, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, That's never going to happen. And then it happens. They don't come back and go, hey, sorry, I doubted you. It's just fine. Who cares? It's when they go, you're a dickhead, you're blah, 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 you're into this, I hope you die, all this. Those kind of comments, like, you should be just banned off the internet for that kind of thing. But can't be. Da, da, da. More trust fund. T. I had to give up pipe weed when my beautiful wife and adopted her kids. And it's illegal in Maryland. I could start again. Terrified. Take up. Terrified to take up tobacco again. Smoking's bad, man. I gave it up eventually, and I don't recommend it anymore. I did smoke for a long time. Don't anymore. Happier because of it. Take up Haribo. Way better for you. Maybe. And number one says, yeah, kind of, Scott. I watch some channels because of the personality, but there are a lot of videos I watch based solely on the subject, even if they're a weenie. I might not always like, though. There you go. It's true. I mean, I watch videos sometimes. Sometimes I'm just looking it up. I'm like, dude's got like 2 subscribers, but he's made a comment I want to, or a video I want to see. You know, it's a weird place, YouTube, actually, because people are weird about it. Scotland says the dude sliced the tops off his fingers in my warehouse this week. Blood everywhere. Looked like someone shot him. Ow, Scott! I didn't need to know that, my friend. Thanks. Yeah, that's horrible. I hope he gets better. How are you going to get better? He's not going to regrow his fingers, but hey, maybe he can do the old Tony Iommi thing. Peter Geo with the €5 super chat. Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Says, I finished the Duff McKagan book. Brilliant read. Amazing. He's still breathing. Isn't it? Isn't it? It's the same with the Slash one. It's like, wow, how are these dudes still not only living but thriving and doing well in their advancing ages? When they're in their 60s now, I think, or at least heading that way. Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. The life he has had. Amazing book. Glad you enjoyed it, Peter, and thanks so much for the super chat, sir. Very, very cool. Mar says, hey, only here for a sec. Just have to watch the replay. Lots of drama going on here. Just wanted to say a quick hi and wish you all a great week. Thanks, Marcia. I hope when you are watching the replay that you managed to get through the drama and you're doing well. Great to see you popping in there. Scott says, wasn't too happy, got hurt. I wasn't too happy, got hurt yourself somewhere else. Go hurt yourself somewhere else, not in my shop. Dude. A little bit of compassion wouldn't go astray. Anyways, Benny says, that's horrible, Scott. How is he doing? Hopefully well. Let's see. Joe Brother. Okay, same issue as many YouTube guitar channels. He can't play the guitar. I mean, neither can I. I just talk with a funny accent and try to make things funny. So if you like that, you're doing well here. But yeah, I play just to enjoy myself. That's why I don't put a lot of me playing on the YouTube channel. I got very sick of being attacked for not being a great guitar player. And when that's essentially the entire point of my channel, by the way. It was one of the main things that made me want to start a channel. I wanted to be like just some dude who's not great at guitar, but it's just like, hey, let's all stop thinking Rob Chapman is the quality of YouTuber, of guitarist you need to be to start a YouTube channel. That was genuinely my thought, like, because I was watching all these Rob Chapman videos and going, he's cool, I could never play like that. This is before all the Rob Chapman beef with everybody, you know. And I still don't have a problem with him, but there you go. Rob F says, that sucks, Scott. I had a friend who lost most of her hand in a meat grinder. Jesus. That's awful. Ryan says, it's a channel about collecting, not playing. He spent 12 hours in an emergency waiting room to get stitches. It reminds me about, we had a woodwork teacher in school, and he gave us a safety talk at the end of the day, on whatever day it was. It was like our last class of the day. It was like, safety talk. Right? When you're around the machines, don't do this, don't do that. If you do this, you get your hand cut off, blah, 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 blah. And he chopped off the tops of 3 of his fingers later that day when we were gone. So it's like, oh, what were you saying about safety, sir? He was off for about 6 months, of course. And of course, we were teenagers. We ripped the piss out of him for the next 3 years. Sorry about that, Mr. Dwyer. If you're out there, thanks for teaching me how to make a dovetail joint and stuff. He spent 12 hours. Oh, then we got that. My dad was a woodshop teacher. Every 5 years, someone cut their fingers off. My knees, there you go. I was a dude in my school, actually, I think he cut off his finger, and he sued the school, and then he like bought a car. I was driving to school in his brand new car. None of the teachers had brand new cars, but he did because he got a big, huge payout from the school. So there you go. Joe Marauder says you can't buy talent either, and that's a very true statement. A lot of people think you can buy talent. Um, I've worked in the screenwriting world for a while, as you guys know, and people will say, "Oh, everyone in this class is super talented." No, they're not. They just had enough money to pay the $300 for the class. That's all. Talent's not something you can buy. And that's a very good point. People often talk themselves into thinking they have talent when they don't. I am not so foolish. I am not talented as a guitar player. Uh, Richard says you can't teach good manners. I could teach good manners. I tell you, there's some people I'd like to teach manners to. Um, Michael Blaine says I don't think I could afford subscribers. It's not worth what you pay for them. Um, Advert says, where was Dave in 2005 when YouTube started? 2005, was working in a video store here in Wexford, dreaming of Hollywood and not really thinking about anything else at the time. Yeah, that's where I would have been. I did when YouTube started. I was only a couple of years, maybe later, maybe 2007, 2008. My brother and I did set up a YouTube channel where we did movie reviews and stuff like that. We called it the 5 Minute Movie Show, and we got a little bit of access and stuff. Like we got invited to press junkets and movie premieres and things like that. But it never really took off. It was super frustrating, and honestly, sometimes we talk about it. We're like, we could have been big movie YouTubers if we kept that show going. It was called the 5 Minute Movie Show. It was terrible, really, but we're just only getting started and learning how to use cameras and things. So now there's a billion channels. I think at the time there was maybe a million channels on YouTube. So you had a good chance if you stuck with it, I think, but we didn't. And don't go looking for that because it was awful. Rob F says, my guitar playing sucks. I love guitars and amps. I've never been critical of someone else's playing. I think that's the way to be. Rob, I think the thing for me is, and I'll say this to anyone about any hobby, any thing that they do, if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter whether you're good or bad at it. You know, you might annoy people. That's fair enough. But like I play guitar in my bedroom most of the time. Sometimes here in the office. I don't go around like shoving my guitar amp in people's faces or turning it up so loud that I'm going to annoy anybody. So why shouldn't I play guitar and enjoy myself? Of course, I do have a YouTube channel with 8,000 people that sometimes have to put up with the misery of me playing guitar. The playing in the 345 video was atrocious, even by my standards. But you know, I try to keep it short, so we'll see how it goes in the future. I'm working out, and we're working out some stuff. Maybe we'll get better down the years. But honestly, I just enjoy myself, and that's all that matters. Advo says they extort you, the subscribers selling service. I don't know, they could. Yeah, they're just a scam basically. Let me see what we got. Fico Dave, if you buy 200 subscribers, I can hit the like button 200 times. You know where this is going. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir, you can't. That's not. No. Yeah, definitely. There you go. Rob says, well, I had no clue it was possible to purchase subscribers for money. That is crazy. It is. And it's technically breaking YouTube's terms and conditions as well, by the way. You can, if YouTube identify that you're doing it, have your channel shut down completely. But 9 times out of 10, what they'll do is just remove your channel, remove all of the subscribers that are not active on your channel. And so if you've bought 40, 50, 60,000 subscribers, guess what? You're going to look like a fucking clown when they take all your subscribers away. And I feel like at least one of those channels I mentioned earlier, that's going to happen to quite soon. I let me just say this because I've just said that, and it's going to be, when it does happen, people are going to like, oh, Dave did something about it. I don't report people for stuff like that. I'm not a snitch. I'm not going anywhere. All I'm doing is talking about it in this video. But it's very, very, very obvious. In fact, the one channel I'm talking about, it's more obvious than any other channel I've ever seen. So, and a lot of channels used to do it, especially in the early days. Richard says, putting your playing out there, be on YouTube or a gig is the bravest thing you can do. I agree with that. Someone is always going to be better and let you know you suck. That's also true. So anyways, T says, Trigo Dave, the Marmite Guitar Channel. Could be a good name for the channel. You either love it or hate it. That's how I feel about my channel. Listen, in real life, not everybody loves me. It's true. I have like two haters. It's the same on YouTube. It's just how it goes. Um, there we go. Um, Number one says Michael Blaine. That's how I feel about Shania Twain. Watch the videos with the sound off. Don't watch me with the sound off, please. But yeah, okay. Um, D-Max, I think I just stumbled across Dave Navarro's clean tone on Ritual de la Habitual, saved to my katana presets as 3 Dave. A TCD, tell you clean. Nice. So maybe I should make a video finally. Do it. Do it, my friend. Ryan says, I saw her in a music store as a kid with my dad. She was hot. She was asking the sales guy hundreds of questions about a guitar pick she wanted to get her husband. All right. There you go. Robert says, Secret Dave, people remain one of the other people. We need to stick together. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. Where did that go? All right, I think I can make it through the rest of the comments in the next 10 minutes. So we'll just go until I get to the bottom here. If unless more drop in, and then I'll just slide down to the bottom and see how it goes. Well, Rob, that's awesome. Let me know before your first gig. I've been doing it forever. Did I miss? Yeah, absolutely. The first 1,000 gigs are the toughest, says Joe Marauder. I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see then. We're going to try. Any info on Linus Tech Tips? No. No. That channel has had so many controversies over the years. I would say they're not my first place to go when I'm looking for tech. I think they tried to make entertainment rather than reviews, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I do that a lot of the time as well. I don't really make reviews, so I've eaten something comment ass for. I've eaten some comment ass for day before. I do it again. Thank you, number one. Appreciate it, sir. Yeah, some of those people. Someone called me an asshole in the comments. I thought it was a really lovely thing that someone cared enough to type it out. I mean, that's not the worst I've seen. um, Rob says haters feed the algorithm, same as people who like what you're doing. That's actually funnily true. Yeah, I think we've spoken about that. They do. Leaving a comment is actually a very positive thing for a channel, whether it's a negative comment or not. But yeah, just in case anyone is new, since I told this story, there was a time when I'd go straight into the comments when the video was live, and I'd be there probably all day when the video went live or the next day. And I had an argument with a dude that basically went down the road of, you're a terrible guitar player. You shouldn't buy any more guitars. In fact, you shouldn't ever buy any more guitars. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to have more guitars. I'm like, dude, I buy these guitars with money that I go to work to make. I can do whatever I want with my money. So as long as it's legal, and it's currently legal for a man to buy a guitar. So until that changes, I'm going to keep buying guitars. But all of this kept going like back and forth day and night. It was like, and it was really offensive, to be honest with you. And I ended up blocking the dude and being like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with that. So that's why I don't read comments straight away anymore. I always kind of wait, honestly, for you guys to jump in and say, tell someone they're an idiot and not me. So 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what happened. 10 times out of 10. So yeah, it's all good. I don't really worry about it anymore. It used to wind me up. It used to make me think I don't want to do YouTube anymore. So I don't get into that as much. And I don't get into bad moves now. Now I just laugh at them because I see you guys are smashing them to pieces, to be quite honest with you. Joe Marauder, how many guitar players does it take to change a light bulb? 5. 1 to do it and 4 others to talk about how they would have done it. That's a good point. It's a good point. It's also a nice joke, but it's actually true. Number 1 says, add that to Keith Richards, and it seems the real truth is that Dior UGS will make you live forever if they don't kill you young. It seems to be. Yeah, he's going to outlive us all, man. Same as the people who tell me how great they are too. Todd. Yeah, hang on. People who say someone else can't play are never as good as they think they are. Yes, that's actually quite true. A couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, I posted a video of me playing like an update to a lesson, like me playing from the lesson. I had to play Hey Joe on a Fender group, And some dude was like, "That's not how you play it. This is how you play it." Blah blah blah, putting in like really putting me down and like blah blah. And then like a few days later, he posted a comment, and I'm just gonna say it this way, or he posted a video. I'm just gonna say it this way: his right hand didn't work properly, and I don't mean in a disability way. It was perfectly fine. He just didn't know how to strum properly. He was like a first week beginner, and he's correcting someone else on how to play. My playing on the Hey Joe thing wasn't perfect, but it wasn't too bad. Um, so yeah, you just get people with jumped up opinions sometimes. That's just par for the course. Sometimes they're right, of course, but pick your battles, dude. Let's see now. I like that British guy with the afro. Does the Gear of the Week videos. Andy the Guitar Geek. He's cool. I like him. Yeah, I'd love to do some sort of interview with him at some point. So if you're out there, Andy, let's do it. Make a video, I mean. All right, I think we're nearly there. Throat getting a bit raspy. So let's see. Yeah, Andy, the other guy, Andy too. I think he does reverb reviews. Is awesome too. The Fluff is the reverb reviews guy. I think he's cool. He makes some good videos, and he's a very good guitar player. Richard Cox wants to sell myself as a subscriber. How do I get? You can't, man. You can't do it. It's very scammy kind of business. Yeah, they just buy like a load of phones for like $50 each, start a whole load of YouTube accounts, and like if I go to them and say I want 10,000 subscribers, they're like, cool, give us a week. And every day they go into each one of the phones and different account and subscribe all the time, and then they do that like 10 times, and they just keep doing that until they probably have 2 or 300,000 phones, accounts, sorry, and all on like however many phones. I don't know how many accounts you can add to a phone, but that's how they do it. And then YouTube knows though that how many subscribers are interacting with your channel. So if your subscribers are not interacting, they can spot that you're one of those people. But it probably takes like 6 months to 12 months for them to do it. So within that time, I think one of the big channels is going to get taken down, and embarrassed, and I can't wait for it. So there we go. Marker comments, Dave, this is where you said 10 minutes. All right, cool. I think you can do it. I think we can do it. Gotta run, Dave. Peace and love to the Chord family. Take care. This was a good one, Dave. Thanks, maybe. I was having withdrawal symptoms. Thanks, Richard Clark. Appreciate you, sir. Night all. Hope you're all having a great week and someone gets their Wednesday guitar. Thanks, T. Hope you have a great week yourself. And lots of folks then just saying goodbye. Let's see then. I will put something up on YouTube so everyone can tell me how much I suck. We won't. We'll tell you how great you are. Because hey, honestly, it is a scary thing putting your playing up on YouTube, and it is very humbling. I think so. I think it is. Somebody else said it there. It's a brave thing you can do, and it is. I definitely agree with that. Number one says maybe the British guy he was talking about was Rabia Masad. He's a badass player. He is a badass player. Very good. All right, we got to the end of the chat. It took 15 minutes more than I expected, but hey, we got there. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for listening to me rant. And listen, don't worry about it too much. It's not going to affect this channel, and probably some of the ones that you like are not doing that. A lot of the ones you like are not doing that. But just beware. Keep an eye out and call people out. I can't do it because they'll come at me, and they're much bigger than me. But if you do see it, don't be afraid to call it out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been fun to get back. I'm feeling so tired, but I had to get back. My plan is to do some videos this week. I have them written out, but I haven't recorded them yet. So that's the plan over the next few days if I get time. Really do want to get back to regular recording videos. It's been too long. Every time I try, it's not there, but we'll try our best to do it. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining me for this Saturday. Because again, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm glad I'm yours. So take care of yourselves, guys. Have a great week. I'll talk to you again soon. My name's Chord Dave. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, take care.